वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गुरु महाराज श्री श्रीपाद की श्रीपाद व्यास पूजा महोत्सव की जय। So, Manjula Mataji, today we will only discuss about Guru Maharaj
Yes, Swarupa.
pastimes. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
no Bhagavad sloka. Hare Krishna. This is our website, drtdsingh.org. You can go through to see all the biographies, pastimes of Guru Maharaj. In his early childhood, he was the great Vaishnava. So there is a time when Guru Maharaj was so merged in Ras Leela, Sankirtan, he had forgotten the fifth class paper exam. He was so merged in Sankirtan, even though he never skipped exams, but he forgotten. The elevated state of Guru Maharaj, who took birth in the place called Manipur. There are very nine islands and nine mountain ranges where the ancestor of Babruvan are living. All these Manipur Kshatriyas are great Vaishnava in their lineages. So this tradition of Sankirtan is very deep rooted in Manipur. The father of Guru Maharaj, Dr. Teddy Singh, is very dedicated to this Sankirtan movement. So learning this Sankirtan from the family and in the village, Guru Maharaj was so much merged into various Sankirtan, especially Rasalila pastimes. Manipur is very famous for drummers. There are lots of drumming and hand cymbals called kortal. Can see many melodious performance being performed all over the world. There is a troupe called Ranganiketana. Ranganiketana regularly travel all over world. Almost in every conferences we have this cultural program where Manipuri drummers and Ranganiketan perform the pastimes of Lord Krishna's Ras Leela and other pastimes through melodious Sankirtan with drums and hand cymbals. Since childhood, Guru Maharaj struggled a lot to pursue the education due to the will of Providence. His father passed away at the early childhood age. His elder sister, father, mother both passed away. His elder sister took care of uh, Srila Sripad, and with the help of a teacher, he could pursue the education and passed matriculation with a first class degree. Then he could continue the education with the help of scholarship. So he did his education from Kolkata, master degree, and then he received government of ministry of education scholarship to pursue his PhD. So he met Srila Prabhupada in America, 1971, where Srila Prabhupada, being very compassionate to Guru Maharaj, asked him to engage in the activities that give them something, to give all the people around the world that how they can be fulfilling the meaning and purpose of human form of life. Guru Maharaj was pursuing his PhD during that time. He had a friend who was coming to meet regularly Srila Prabhupada, Dr. Rao. He insisted that Guru Maharaj should meet Srila Prabhupada. In the first meeting, Guru Maharaj was so attracted to the divine instructions of Srila Prabhupada and to the divine affections. He felt that is the most well-wisher and to whom he know from births, from long time. The affectionate behavior and the instructions about the ultimate good of human being and to bring a better society to cultivate the ultimate purpose of human being attracted so much that even while pursuing the education, he was fully dedicated to the service of Srila Prabhupada. So, attracted by Srila Prabhupada's compassionate preaching, 1971 onward, Srila Sripad joined the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada trained him every time possible whenever Srila Sripad met Srila Prabhupada. He was giving all the time to Srila Sripad in training the meaning and purpose of human form of life, scientific preaching, and various complex matter in understanding the correlation between matter, spirit, and the interaction between matter and spirit. This domain was well covered. Our Guru Maharaj used to ask all the relevant questions from the perspective of science. Srila Prabhupada trained very well, covering every aspect that how a preacher should be compassionate to every living being to deliver them from the nescience. So emphasized this preaching to be started from the topmost leaders. What is essential in spiritual life is the faith. Without seeing a very minimum faith developed in a person, the signs of Krishna consciousness may never be given to them. Because those who are faithless, who are non devotional, who are attached to sense enjoyment, they will act in a non conducive way. They may misutilize, misinterpret the scripture, they may utilize scripture against blaspheming Krishna through misinterpretations, and they are not qualified to engage in the service of Krishna. Service of Krishna, if somebody is giving some offerings out of false ego, out of arrogance, so there is no meaning of giving such offerings because Lord never accepts that. A faithless person, even if he give some offering like fruits, vegetables, money, or whatever to Krishna, is it acceptable by Krishna or not? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram puspam phalam toyam jo me bhaktya prajachati tasya aparhutam asnami pratatmana. So the word is bhakti important here. Maybe water, fruits, tulsi leaf, or flowers. If offered to Krishna without devotion, then Lord do not accept. What is that Lord accepting is the devotion that is given to Krishna is accepted. If somebody prepare very nice palatable dishes, chappan bhog, and all this, called Raj Bhog and Rajakiya Seva, royal offerings, like Duryodhana tried to offer royal offerings to Krishna, but Vidura was so poor who could give some sack or little banana. That also not out of love and affection, he forgot that what to give from the banana. Instead, he gave banana skin. But Lord accepted that with love and affections. So, dravya, every dravya are good belonging to Krishna. Everything, whether you know or do not know, every dravya is belonging to Krishna. If you give any dravya, you are only giving what is already with him. He is not in dearth of any dravya. But when certain dravya you know is belonging to somebody and you are utilizing that dravya without asking the permission or without expressing the gratitude, then that is not not the right path. Such mentality is called stena. Stena means cheating or thief mentality, stealing somebody's property without his approval or knowledge. So it is essential that all the dravya, all the paraphernalia, all the goods are belonging to Krishna, so should be utilized with the permission of Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna. That is called devotion. If that is not there, then a person tries to offer anything is not accepted by Lord. So that's why Lord emphasized that such people who are not engaged in devotional service, who are not having devotion, who are not having faith, and who are envious to Krishna, these signs of Krishna consciousness may not be presented to them. So that in essence, in the minimum expectation a devotee should seek before presenting the signs of Krishna consciousness is that called faith, minimum faith. So if that faith is not there, then devotion can never be cultivated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered that this preaching or Sankirtan movement should go to every street, every corner of the world. সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মোর দিব্য নাম পৃথিবীতে আছো যত নগরাদি গ্রাম every places in this world nagara grama nagara means city grama means village every street so to bring the complete preaching everywhere in the world first important thing is that faith must be developed without faith such preaching activity will be not as per Bhagavad Gita is a aparadha, blasphemy, aparadha, nam aparadha. So then what we should do? So that means first you must give faith, then you can do the preaching of the confidential knowledge of devotional service explained in scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So before Bhagavatam, preaching one must try to find the sublime faith in a person and try to give a sublime faith in the person. So first developing the faith. When faith is at the utmost level, then you induce some preaching, then it will work rapidly, quickly. So the induction of faith and then confidential knowledge is the principle. How to induce the faith among these people is the important subject that Prabhupada was searching after. And for that, the induction of faith can happen as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Jad jad acharati sreshta tat tadavyo itarajana. When these topmost philosophers, scientists, leaders of the society, when they understand, when they practice, and when they something good about this spiritual subject matter, then common people will be following and naturally common people can easily develop some faith. So Srila Prabhupada trained our Guru Maharaj Dr. T.D. Singh, who was the scientist, who was the renowned scientist, can show you what was his scientific journey. Slide also. Bio, bio, yeah. His PhD was in organic chemistry. These details are not here. It is okay. Some other day I'll explain that what was his work. So theft was the guide of Srila Sripad. He was working on the slow rate reactions, ICR, ion cyclotron transfer resonance. So following this, many Nobel laureate also came. He published many papers to the American Chemical Society journals. So he is very renowned scientist. I will show someday what are the activities on the research area of Guru Maharaj. Go back to the slides. So the importance of faith is that when one is scientifically convinced about the subject matter, then his faith is at higher level. So when faith is like excitations, if the chemicals are excited to the level of reactive state, then it can react. And when a devotee practices Krishna consciousness with proper faith, his progress is faster. So faith is catalyst. Faith is the initial adusradha, initial point of excitation which is required to cultivate Krishna consciousness. So in order to achieve that minimum common faith, the scientific discovery is very much important, because in devotional service there are many problems. Without unflinching faith in devotional life or in this journey of Krishna consciousness, one can be trapped in theism and atheism. Sometimes he will be theistic, sometimes he will be atheistic. That concept is called Astira Siddhanta. We'll come there. One must be saved from Mayavada, Nirvishesha Sunyavada, and Hetuvada. So Hetuvada consists Mayavada, Nirvisheshavada, Sunyavada, like Kapila, Mayavadi Kapila, Jaimini, Charvak, Buddha. What is the propounded philosophy through this is to hide the main goal of human form of life with a interpretation suitable to the mentality. Sometimes Lord Shiva has to come to establish Mayavada in the form of Shankaracharya. When there are people who are not ready to follow the scripture in Sattva Guna is the mode of goodness. The first class devotional service, being freed from all the nations. And when the people are so much misutilizing scripture in name of Bali Pratha, killing animals and eating their flesh, then Lord has to come in the form of Buddha Dev. Certain situations are there when people are not interested in taking medicines. So the medicines can be mixed with the food they are interested in. So that is the idea behind Lord Shiva as coming as Shankaracharya or Buddhadev incarnation, coming to put forward various derived or various deviated philosophies such as Mayavada, or Shunyavada, or gradually some other philosophers influenced by such material influences of Kali Yuga brought Hetuvada. Hetuvada has 6 categories. If somebody is not introspective with spiritual knowledge, with science, philosophy, and spirituality, he may be influenced by all these three. And that is like the mad elephant offense against devotional service, which can destroy upade ছিন্ডায়ে তারা শুকিয়ে pata. The creeper of devotional service will be spoiled by Mayavada, Nirvishesha and Hetuvada. So scientific knowledge is essential. The transformation of desire, material desire to spiritual desire, also need the spiritual and scientific study, analysis, and introspections. Without that, how a person is acting under the three modes of material nature will not be able to come out of that. Influenced by three modes of material nature, he will be working for the guna, for the material goals, and there will be no transformations. So, in order to transform this scientific knowledge, and there is scientific engagement, like there are regular seminar, conferences, so many services. All of you are engaged in Bhaktivedanta Institute. That these are the activities you are interested in, but you are not getting those activities. How the desire will be transferred? We cannot give up the desire, but we can find a path to transform our desire. So, without the cultivation of scientific knowledge and engagement of scientific service, idam hi pumsam sishtasya suktasya buddhi datayo abhichuta artha kabibhir nirupita jad uttama shloka gunanubharanam. When you are so much attracted to some of the activities and you cannot give up such kind of activities because of the influence of modes of material nature, then the possibility is that you first know that these all things are belonging to Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam prapartate. That everything is belonging to Krishna. So there is a Hari Sambandha in every object. By knowing the Hari Sambandha, you will be engage them in the service of Hari. And while engaged in the service of Hari, by those objects, you will be fixed in understanding the Sambandha. What was the problem is that you have forgotten the Sambandha. And now, when you are engaged in such service, and that also without deviation, asthira means deviation. Sometimes you are doing, sometimes you are not doing. Sometimes you are doing against. So, that is the cause of all the problem. When with proper scientific training and knowledge and engagement provided by the scientific spiritual mission called Bhaktivedanta Institute, to give you a platform to cultivate the knowledge of science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, biology, art, culture, poetic ability, or writing ability, everything, or demonstrating ability, anything that is the naturally acquired skill in you, if engaged in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the desire get transformed. So that is the most important aspects where introspection and scientific analysis is very much required. What is happening, we don't know. Then what kind of progress we may get? Whether we are progressing or retrogressing, that also we will not know. The influence of false ego and abhimana, arrogance, the material desire may give you a false identification or false polarized mentality that you are progressing. But in actual, because lack of introspections, where is your spiritual life? You will be missed. So this scientific study of spiritual wisdom is very much required. And scientific knowledge establishes the fixed sambandha vijnana. Result this asthira siddhanta. Asthira siddhanta means sometimes we are Krishna consciousness, sometimes we are not. Sometimes we act against Krishna consciousness. But when we continuously act for Krishna consciousness without any deviations, that is called Sthira Siddhanta. So when we do not follow the scientific process of practicing a religion, then as per Einstein, that we are blindly doing something. Vichar Sunya Karma. Without any analysis, we just started doing something. So that is good when somebody is so humble and um, out of his humble desire and out of his good fortune, he is able to follow the topmost, most sublime spiritual master. Then, being humble and being not aware about so many things is fine, because Lord will give and Guru will give the required knowledge to execute that. He is simply following the Guru. But this age is not like that. Everywhere there are many people to cheat. This world is filled with cheaters and cheated. Everywhere there are so many pretenders. So if somebody blindly walking in this age, definitely he will be fall in the trap of Maya. So bhakti, mukti, siddhi, there are so many secondary ladder called guna patha can even spoil a person who is not having the true introspective knowledge on devotional service, who is not aware about the highest perfection of human form of life, is bhakti, can fall in the trap of these desires to gain something, to become great, lava, puja, and to be established, to get followers, to get worship from others. This kind of mentality may develop. So that way, it is essential that one practice this Krishna consciousness very scientifically. Otherwise, in this age, there is every possibility that he, being so simple and humble, trapped by these people. Being some simple and humble is essence, but being full is not the right path to progress, especially in this age. The whole world is filled to find and cheat such people. So there are so many finders searching. Where can we find such a सिंपल पर्सन? क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? बकरा. कहाँ पे बकरा है? तो so this is essential that we have practice this culture of Krishna consciousness in a scientific manner. So science and spirituality preaching is the essence. Srila Prabhupada founded Bhaktivedanta Institute, and under his guidance, Srila Sripad Guru Maharaj interacted with 25 noble lyrics. The two primary instructions of Srila Prabhupada is to prove life comes from life, the life and origin of universes. consciousness studies, cosmologies. These are the most important field. By interacting with two Nobel laureate, Dr. Phillips and Werner Arber, Srila Sripad countered the Sunyavada, Nirbishesha Sunyavada or Mayavada, that God is a person. So the key areas of studies where Guru Maharaj guided us: consciousness studies, quantum mechanics, cosmology, life and origin of universe, the intersections of science and spirituality, and many others. The ultimate goal of scientific understanding is to know Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the sublime path is Bhakti. That way, Gyantam Mam Santim Richate. One can be established peacefully in this world. जन्म कर्म च में दिव्यम एवं जो वेति तत्व त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति मामिति सो अर्जुन. So this aspect jnana gati hava mani. Many people utilize these things that is it really required that we cultivate this scientific knowledge to get uh, perfection in pure devotional service? Without scientific knowledge, we can also become a good devotee. But what is the real reason is that what is this jnana? When it is speculative knowledge, that is called jnana. When we are cultivating the devotional service and analyzing them, introspecting them, doing vichara, that is bhakti sambandha vijnana. Bhakti sambandha vijnana is essential. When at the advanced state, when one is fully fixed, called sthira siddhanta, tattva jnana is fully fixed in him, that time it is automatically in work. So he need not to specifically attempt for jnana. That is the advanced state. But at second theism, a devotee may sometimes do active devotional service, sometimes he can give up. Such people may say that this jnana is not essential, give up the jnana, and naturally they say that we will do natural bhakti, but you see that after some time they are deviated from the path or they have given the path. Definitely speculative knowledge is not that important unless the knowledge is speculative knowledge or the thought process is engaged in serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. Scientific knowledge can help resolve all the barriers in the path of pure devotional service. And scientific knowledge can eradicate all the impediments, all the misunderstanding. And scientific knowledge can enhance by knowing what is most pleasurable to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is essential that the cultivation of scientific knowledge, when a devotee, suppose out of faith or out of attractions, come to do Govardhan Parikrama, but after getting whatever he was desired for, he will be engaged in such desire. Or if he has not got what he has desired, then he will say, oh, there is no God. If God is there, then whatever I desire, I must get. There are many reasons behind what we get, what we do not get. In our previous, there is a small story that one person was trying to call Durga Devi to get some wealth money for for to improvement of his very poor or piteous conditions. So when he was praying, practicing austerity, doing yajna, etc., he was keep on praying, and Durga Devi was not coming in front of him. But after a long time practice, he is frustrated that such practice is not good. Nothing will come. So this kind of mentality. But fortunately, because he was practicing this yajna and trying to pray Durga Devi to get some merits, Durga Devi got pleased upon him. Did not come in front of her, in front of him, but he got the divine knowledge that let me give up this kind of desires. So he given up the material desire and took the sannyas dharma and kept on practicing the same yajna for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Durga Devi appeared in front of him. So Durga Devi told him, whatever you want, I am ready to give you. So that devotee told, when I was asking so piteously, years after year, you have never appeared in front of me, neither you gave such things which I was requesting. Now, when I have given up everything, you are appearing. Durga Devi replied that you had such 20 heinous act in your previous life. Whenever you are performing these sacrifices, you are doing, they were getting reduced one after other. But you are still far beyond. But that was the reason that even if I wanted to give you, I could not because I follow the laws of karma. So Durga Devi, Maya Adhakshana Prakriti Shrute Sacharacharam. Durga Devi has to abide by the laws which is set for the law of karma. Sometimes they can break these laws, but mostly they do not break because causeless mercy can be granted by Supreme Personality of Godhead. The scripture also said that जद ब्रह्म साक्षात कृति निष्क्रियापि विनाशम आयाति विनान भोगई अपैति नाम स्फुरण तत्ते प्रारब्ध कर्मोति विरति वेद. What is prarabdha? It cannot be stopped by any attempt. If somebody incessantly meditating on Brahman effulgence, Brahma Chintana, that is called the path of Jnana, mere Jnana. Even somebody is practicing in mere Jnana for a long, long period, still his prarabdha will not be destroyed. So, whatever religious practices, this and that, prarabdha is very difficult to be eradicated. So, only when one practicing Krishna consciousness Because practicing Krishna consciousness is the ultimate purpose. When one directly give up all the material desire and come to the practice of Krishna consciousness, that means what is the purpose of human form of life? He has realized and now fixed in that. So when that devotee is fixed in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then at once everything got result. Jad Brahma Sakyat Kriti Niskayapi Bina Samayati Bina na bhogi. So he must suffer or enjoy the good and bad result of his karma. Now he has burnt of both. Buddhi Jukta Jahatya Uva Sukrute Duskrute. Because he has burnt both pious and impious, merits and demerits. Now that he has nothing to enjoy or suffer. So at this state, so when one come to Krishna consciousness, so the most sublime process chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when one scientifically realize that and come to this state that he burnt of the material desire, then he is eligible to get the blessings. So by such elevations of giving of the material desire and accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and working for the pleasure, same Yajna he is now not doing for Labha Puja Pratishtha Bhukti Mukti or Siddhi, called indirect path, Guna Patha. Now he has taken prime path. So because of his good fortune, he was following initially secondary path, but immediately elevated to the primary path, all because of mercy of Durga Devi. Here he was praying Durga Devi and Guru Durga Devi gave her right mercy. So she came to the direct path of devotional service. Now immediately as soon as he come, fixed in the Siddhanta. See, we may say that we are cultivating this and that. We have to introspect how much fixed we are. Until we are fixed in devotional service, we will not be able to attract the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead extremely pleased on those people who are fixed in devotional service. And because that is facilitated, desired, and provided by Supreme Personality of Godhead, every possible sadhu, shastra, Ganga, Tulasi, this Bhaktivedanta Institute, all these facilities are provided by Krishna only to cultivate. So that one must very carefully introspect under the bona fide representations of Krishna as a sadhu guru. When one follow this regulative devotional services, gradually he elevate from Gonapatha to Mukhyapatha. Once he come to Mukhyapatha, every demigod can come and everything whatever you want you may get, but you will never want anything because you are eligible to be in the platform of Vaikuntha, where Toyam Amrutam, Bhumi Chintamani. The earth is Chintamani, made of Chintamani. Anything you desire, you will get. But you will desire only for service of Krishna only. So whatever you desire to serve Krishna, everything you will get instantly. Where water is Amrita. Katha Ganam. People will talk so melodiously. Natyam Gamanam Api. And when you are with so much pleasure, you'll be always dancing, not walking. So that is the state. So that was the state of that devotee. And all of his karma, which was not burning because of material desire. So you cannot burn your material desire by another material desire. That is the problem. So when he was in secondary path, he was trying with all effort in prolonged, long time. Though there is merits in austerities like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, they all got result in the austerities. And that is the whatever austerity one do, one get its outcome. There is no doubt in it. But the good result, bad result, both are there and it takes long time. Why to unnecessarily waste your time in the Guna Patha? But if you are fortunate to realize by the mercy of some pure devotee, sadhu, guru, shastra, or devotees like Durga Devi act as pure devotees, blessings to that person's. So he elevated from Gonapatha to immediately to Mukhya Patha. So that is essential. That's why scientific study and science and spirituality preaching is essential. One should not take this science and spirituality so lightly. One must observe into his own personal life as well as whatever preaching activities he is doing to help others being understand that. If somebody is not taking science and spirituality with serious introspection to into his life, then he may not understand this in detail. Hare Krishna, we have reached the time. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare,
Prabhuji, for the special nice class on our Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna devotees, anybody having any questions, any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So today, one question came to mind that killing a small mosquito or ant and killing a person. So on the level of in material life, it is different, lot different. But on the level of devotional, spiritual, might be the impact of sinfulness. Might be it will be same, or we think it is even if punishment will be different on our material life. There will be no. So on the scientific level, or devotional level, not scientific, devotional level, what do you say that the impact and the amount of sinful is same, or it will be not different?
See, the killing mosquitoes, bugs, etc. can be sinful, cannot be sinful. Both possible. So when you are envious to somebody and act in enviousness, like killing human being, see how much enviousness is there. Killing any animal, how much enviousness is there. And what is the amount of consciousness you are destroying? When a human being who is ready to practice Krishna consciousness and go back Godhead by fulfilling the purpose of human form of life. This is most precious form. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapatyante. After many life he has come to this. Manus Kaumara acharate pragya dharman bhagavatan iha. Durlabham manusam janma tadapi arthadam. So this human form of life is very rarely achieved. After 84 lakh species of various forms, he has come to this form. And here, there are 5 degrees of consciousness, right? These plants and others, they are called covered consciousness, achadita. The consciousness is completely covered. So their consciousness is like almost fully covered, cannot realize anything about God. Then Sranken, Sankuchita, birds and animals, their consciousness are called Sankuchita, Sranken. Then called budding consciousness called a budding consciousness. Budding consciousness in Hindi, Mukulita. No, not Mukulita. Is that called? Anyway, budding consciousness you understand, right? Like bird. Then Mukulita is budding. Yeah. Mukulita, Vikasita, Purna Vikasita. So Mukulita is budding, bird-like form. So human being, consciousness, ordinary human being is like budding. When he practices Krishna consciousness, it start blossoming. When he becomes freed from all such material desires, that is called fully blossomed. So the Vaishnavas, devotees or Brahmanas, even if you little punish them, it is big offense. So that's why Brahmana were, as per the scripture, should never be killed, even though they commit certain offenses, because they can auto-correct themselves. Because of their higher degree of consciousness, even though sometimes they commit certain offenses and they can very easily correct themselves. Simply saying them is more than killing them. If you say them something that you have done this, it's not correct, and they will feel themselves safe because of the influence of Maya, I have done like this, like that, it is not good, I will never do it again. So this kind of consciousness automatically develop in them. So they correct themselves. That's why Brahmanas or Vaishnavas, they should never be punished corporally. Corporally, you understand, right? With any physical punishments or beating kind of things. Because they are able to correct themselves automatically. So that is the degree of consciousness elevation. Similarly, the lower the degree of consciousness, they do not automatically uh, correct themselves. So, like those who are in the consciousness of lower degree called Sudha consciousness, are in budding consciousness. So they need infliction of punishments to elevate or to give up those bad habits or bad practices or irreligiosity. So they need to be punished. Then when you further come down, so who should punish whom? If somebody is authority to punish, can punish, right? Then when you come further down, animals, then plants, etc. So that's why when jiva jivasya jivanam principle is given, that you can survive on other living entity, there is no doubt of it. Jiva jivasya jivanam. Plant has life, animal also has life, but you are allowed to eat vegetables. Sag. Sag is like eating plant, right? But the amount of consciousness or enviousness is not there. That also, if you eat for yourself, you still incur sins. But if you offer this foodstuff to Supreme Personality of Godhead, those who are offered to Supreme Personality of Godhead, plants, etc., they are getting merit, and the person who is cooking for Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is offering with the devotions, they are getting merits. It is destroying the sin which is inbuilt. So that is the principle, that every dravya is belonging to Krishna. Every paraphernalia is belonging to Krishna. They should be offered to Krishna. So that is how one can cultivate the real principles based on the level of consciousness. Suppose mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are biting to you. If you are at a higher level of consciousness, you will feel that this body is prone to diseases. So I may get malaria, dengue, or whatever. I may die some days. But if there is no will of providence, that I may not be inflicted by mosquito bites or dengue or malaria, even though. So see your consciousness level. When your consciousness level is that high, your body is also immunized to that level of high. high level of immunizations. When your body is highly immunized, so this mosquito bites or any other coronavirus, whatever may come, will not inflict upon you. Are you at this state? If you are in that state, that this kind of insect bite or bacteria virus is not going to affect you. You are at very elevated level. Even though they bite you, need not to kill them, right? But if you are affected by the diseases and etc., if mosquito is going to bite you, then what will happen? You may get malaria, dengue, and if you are affected by malaria and dengue, you will not be able to do your job and execute the services for Krishna. So, what is the other possibility? That you have to live in a mosquito free environment? You may use mosquito net, or even if you use some repellent, that way also you are killing. But see, certain thing, is it impacting your consciousness level? When you are at, you have to act based on your consciousness level and other consciousness level. When you are killing mosquito, are you getting envious as if you are killing an animal? Are you getting envious? What is the degree of enviousness within you while killing in mosquito? If a mosquito is trouble, giving some trouble to you, killing them is definitely sin. Even that is mentioned in Garuda Purana, even Bhagavatam 5.26, that killing bugs is also sinful, and there is a narkologa for that. But when you are truly Krishna conscious, when your enviousness is not exhibited while killing, one may kill with lots of enviousness the mosquito. One may piteously try to try to uh, find a way how he can move this mosquito out of the room, or he may kill also. So it all depend upon at what level of consciousness is working. If is enviousness, that is sinful. If he is non-envious, if he is maintaining his services, in order to do his services, he has to keep the room clean of mosquitoes, and he is finding a way that to keep the room clean. That is the better way. Why you keep your room unclean and mosquito will come? You may keep some, like a, what is that called, a jhuna, camphor, all this, like, which are a devotional environment. You may create a devotional environment with karpura, chandana, camphor, etc. When these smells are there, then mosquito will not enter. So you can do alternatives. But still, when you are in a situation that you are getting affected by malaria, dengue, and mosquitoes are coming and you are killing, and you have no enviousness in your mind, you may not get sinful, even though you are getting sinful reactions, because not in the strength of holy name, but as a service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you are practicing Krishna consciousness, such minimum sins will be eradicated. You will be not affected by such sins. But understand the degree of consciousness level, the degree of surrenderness in you. This is a complex subject matter. That's why scientific analysis is very important. So simply by reading from the scripture, you will not able to understand unless you practice this under a bona fide spiritual practitioner or devotee who know this as it is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have you got the answer?
Prabhuji, yes. I answer, it is just a like injecting knowledge that to resolve the confliction in mind. Resolve some.
Hare
It is
Krishna.
not
Madhur
a
Krishna Prabhu. मदर कृष्ण प्रभु, आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं? Would you like to tell something? Okay, is there any other question or we can conclude?
Prabhuji will read the quote for today.
Yeah.
So, Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, letter to Urupanuga, December 7th, 1975. In your country, the dog is protected and the cow is killed. The dog is passing stool and urine in the street. He is considered the best friend of man. And the cow is all pure stool, urine, and milk.